हेलो गाइस, आपका मधुर गुप्ता चैनल पे बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। आज हमारे साथ जैसलीन जी हैं जो कि केरला की रहने वाली हैं और ये पीएचडी कर रही हैं आईसर कोलकाता से। और इन्होंने सीएसआईआर नेट 2023 अभी जो रिसेंटली हुआ है उसको फोड़ा है, एक तरीके से ऐसे बोला जा सकता है। जो इनकी ऑल इंडिया रैंक 50 थी उसमें। और फर्स्टली वेरी वेरी थैंक्स फॉर माय इनविटेशन जैसलीन। So let me start. Firstly, tell me something about your PhD topic. कि what is topic कि आप कौन सा टॉपिक से पीएचडी कर रहे हैं?
Thank you so much for welcoming me. And as he already told, my name is Jesslyn Zonpi, and I'm working in IISER Kolkata in Department of Chemical Sciences under the guidance of Dr. Ratish K. Vijayaraghavan. And the topic of my research is memristor. So as we all know, in human brain, the biological processes are modulated by the ionic fluxes between the neurons. So the neurons are connected through the synapses. So if we consider two synapses, we have a presynaptic node and a postsynaptic node, and the information is transferred from the presynaptic node to the postsynaptic node through the neurotransmitters. So similarly, we are making it to be a little bit electronic so that we will be applying a presynaptic voltage, and as a result of the voltage that is applied there, a postsynaptic current is generated. So that this memristor, which includes the memory and the resistor, can be used in digital memory, logic circuits, neuromorphic systems, etc. So this is my area of research, and that's it.
Okay. That's basically it's a biological background, right?
Yeah,
ऐसा.
biology and electronics are
And
connected together.
yeah. It's I think it's very new topic for research.
Yeah.
So now हम नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन पे
This
बढ़ते
work
हैं.
started recently.
ओके. सो हम नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन में बढ़ते हैं. हाउ टू एंटर्ड इन आईसर कोलकाता थ्रू इंटरव्यू थ्रू मतलब व्हाट. सो टेल मी अबाउट दैट.
Okay. So in order to join for a PhD in any of the institutions like IISER, IIC, IITs, etc., we could either have GATE fellowship or CSIR fellowship. So I joined in the lab using my GATE fellowship. So the essential criteria for joining an institute will be you must have either a GATE or a CSIR fellowship, and then they will be shortlisting us according to the application and the statement of purpose that we have submitted. After shortlisting, an interview will be held, and based upon our performance in the interview, our PI will select us. So we will have an option to select the PI, and from the list of professors who are available in that institute who is having funding, so we can select them, and if they are willing to take us, they will intimate us through mail. That's it.
ओके. बेसिकली जो कि पीएचडी में एडमिशन लिया जाता है थ्रू गेट फेलोशिप एंड सीएसआईआर नेट फेलोशिप. तो जैसलीन जी थ्रू गेट फेलोशिप के थ्रू आईसर कोलकाता में इन्होंने एडमिशन लिया है. और फर्स्टली मैं आप सबको बता दूं कि फेलोशिप तो थ्रू गेट तो ये एंटर्ड हुए हैं, ठीक है. बट इनका सबका इंटरव्यू होता है, ठीक है, जो कि अभी जैसलीन ने बताया. सो समथिंग टेल मी अबाउट योर इंटरव्यू एक्सपीरियंस इन आईसर कोलकाता.
Okay. So actually in my interview, they were asking me about the thesis topic. So I have done my MSc thesis in the same institute only, so that not only here, or even though if I haven't done my MSc thesis here, most of the institutes will be asking questions from our MSc thesis. So our main focus while preparing for the interview must be our MSc thesis. So that was my first question that they have asked. And then the thing is, we have to have a knowledge and the general chemistry. We must be thorough with the basics. Then only we will be able to build upon our ideas, and that's how the interviews goes. So we must know the basics very well, and then we must know our thesis, the part of the experiments, the instrumentation, all those things must be clear while we are appearing for an interview.
ओके 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 सो बेसिकली जो रहता है कि एमएससी थीसिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, आपको उसके बारे में पता होना चाहिए और बेसिक जो केमिस्ट्री है उसके क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाते हैं. सो फर्स्टली नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज माई कि व्हाई टुक एडमिशन इन पीएचडी. हाउ इज योर, मतलब आपने कैसे डिसाइड किया, आपने कैसे डिसाइड किया कि आपको पीएचडी करनी है?
Okay. Actually, after my plus two, I was little bit confused on what to take. Like, which subject should I choose?
Okay.
My mother is a chemistry teacher, so she was there for an inspiration. And I was not thinking to get away from my home. So I was studying in a college which is very nearer to my house. And then my teachers started to inspire me. Like the chemistry, it it was found to be a little bit more interesting while I started studying that. And then while I joined for MSc, my professors asked me to read papers from Nature, Science Journal, etc. So I came to know about the scientific world. So I felt to be very interesting. Like people are finding out new things which are very much useful for us. Like various different topics are there. We could find out new things. We can work in the lab as well as study theory. So it was found to be very interesting. So then even in my MSc curriculum, I had an opportunity to go outside my campus also. So I just came to IISER Kolkata for my MSc thesis. So after doing MSc thesis, मैंने decide किया कि I must do a PhD because I can do something. The experiments are like very interesting. Sometimes we may not get the result, but
Yeah.
by altering some of the methods or by heating or something else, we could get some interesting results. And these results can be applied in various fields. So it will be useful for the society as well. So the thing that I have to say is, if we are interested to do something in science, we must do PhD. Like we can build a scientific career in that way.
ओके ओके दैट्स अ ग्रेट, मतलब जैसलीन का तो इंटरेस्ट था ही. ठीक है, तो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन मेरा इससे रिलेटेड ही है कि आपका तो इंटरेस्ट था, और जैसे नॉर्मल स्टूडेंट्स हैं इन ऑल ओवर इंडिया, कि कैसे डिसाइड करें कि मतलब उनको पीएचडी कंफ्यूजन स्टेट, जैसे आपने बोला कि 11th 12th में आपको कंफ्यूजन था कि कौन से सब्जेक्ट्स लें कौन सी नहीं लें, तो ये कंफ्यूजन स्टेट आफ्टर एमएससी या ड्यूरिंग एमएससी भी आती है कि पीएचडी ऑप्शन चूज करें या फिर जॉब ऑप्शन चूज करें. तो उस उन स्टूडेंट्स के लिए आप कैसे, मतलब कि किन पॉइंट्स को ध्यान में रखना चाहिए अगर आपको पीएचडी ज्वाइन करनी है, तो वो कुछ पॉइंट्स आप बता सकें.
Okay. So if we are in a confusion whether to do a PhD and or a job, what I can say is, even if we are doing PhD, we can apply for job. I have applied for CPCB scientist exam. So there what I found is the people who are having NET or PhD is getting a greater preference. So even if you are doing a PhD, you can apply for job. The thing which may vary is, like, you will have to work, study, read while doing PhD, and for job it may not be there. But the thing is, the level of our knowledge, the level of our experience, it will be more, and we could go for diverse fields if we are even doing PhD. So my suggestion is that even if you are looking for job, either you can do part-time PhD, or else after PhD you could get higher career options. You can go for postdoc. If you are interested in teaching, you may go for that, or else scientist B posts are there. So several opportunities are available, and the thing is, we must search for that. We must have a quest for knowledge. That's it. So if we have that potential within us, we won't find any difficulty to get any job. So my opinion is after your masters, you can go for PhD, then go for job so that you may have more career opportunities and better salary, better position in the society. So I think it will be a better option.
राइट 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 सो जैसे जैसलीन ने बोला कि इट्स वेरी बेटर ऑप्शंस फॉर बट फर्स्टली कि जिनका इंटरेस्ट है राइट और एक्चुअली होता क्या है ना कि कभी कभी कुछ स्टूडेंट्स कंफ्यूजन स्टेट इसलिए आ जाती है कि स्टाइपेंड फॉर स्टाइपेंड की स्टाइपेंड मिलता है तो ठीक है पीएचडी कर लेते हैं सो मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इससे रिलेटेड ये है कि ड्यूरिंग पीएचडी अभी तो आपने पीएचडी में ज्वाइन ही किया है तो मैं आपसे पीएचडी एक्सपीरियंस की तो बात नहीं कर सकता बट आपके जो सीनियर्स हैं उनसे तो डेफिनेटली आपने बात की ही होगी ठीक है तो कैसा एक्सपीरियंस रहता है पीएचडी का मतलब कौन कौन सी चीजें हैं जो फेस करनी पड़ती है ड्यूरिंग पीएचडी
Okay. So we may not feel that PhD life is so easy. As I have already said, while doing PhD, sometimes the experiments won't be working properly. Sometimes the instrument may get damaged, or like so many things are there. But there will be a solution for that as well. Like if we are doing an experiment, if we try changing some solvents or try changing the temperature,
टेम्परेचर
we could get the result. So the thing is, we have to find out that way. That makes it chemistry interesting, right?
या
Like if we are finding out new ways and if we are able to get good results, so it will be very good. And even we can try for some publications if we are in that way. So myself told that we must try reading so many articles, so many research journals, review papers, so that we will get an idea of that topic, and then we can think about the other alternatives which are available in that way. And even after reading that papers, we may not get it. Then our professors can help us or our lab mates can help us. So we must have a friendly approach with all our friends, professors, so that even their ideas can help us. So research is like, it's not success always.
या
It will be failures, but this failures will be the stepping stone to the success.
या
So
राइट
anyway, we will get a PhD after doing these results.
ओके ओके या सो माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज कि व्हाई यू चूज आईसर कोलकाता so many institute in your India, IITs, many IISERs, IISc. Why you choose IISER Kolkata? Is any specific reason or
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Actually, as I have already told, I did my master thesis here.
yeah,
So when I joined this lab, I felt it very friendly. Like all my lab mates were very supportive. Even it was for the first time that I am seeing a column, doing a TLC, and I had lots of doubts inside that. So even minute things were explained here, and even my professor was very helpful. He's also from Kerala, so the interaction with him was very good, and
that's
he
great.
was able to provide me lots of inputs, like the communication. As the communication was very effective, I could what to say. He could tell me so many options in which I can do the work in an effective manner. Even my lab mates were very supportive. I used to ask so many silly questions. Like I had very minute questions. Why do we use this solvent? Why can't we use that solvent? And it was like very fundamental questions. Even then, they were so supportive that I thought, okay, this will be good. And even the other person, the people around me were also very good. They also used to help me. We used to talk each other, share our ideas, so that I I felt a scientific background around me
Yeah,
that can be helpful for doing my PhD as well. This will be the case with any of the institutes, but since had my MSc thesis here, I was able to know what is going on in the lab, the lab work, the all the things, the instruments, so that I can have a step ahead of doing my PhD. So there is no need for getting familiarized with the lab. So that's why I just joined in this lab only. So this is the case if we are doing internships as well. So if we are doing an internship in a lab, we could get an idea like what is happening in those labs, whether it suits with our interest. So that's how I reached here.
Oh, that's great. So my next question, जैसा आपने लास्ट में आंसर दिया इंटर्नशिप, तो मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इससे रिलेटेड ही है कि इंटर्नशिप कितना कंट्रीब्यूशन करती है आपके इस कंफ्यूजन को दूर करने के लिए कि आपको पीएचडी करनी चाहिए या नहीं करनी चाहिए। जो इंटर्नशिप आप करते हैं, एमएससी थीसिस, आपने बोला कि आप आईएसआर कोलकाता से दी जैसलीन ने एमएससी थीसिस की हुई है, तो एमएससी थीसिस का कितना कंट्रीब्यूशन रहता है फॉर डिसाइडिंग कि वी डूइंग पीएचडी और नॉट?
Okay, so let me begin with the internships. So most of the institutions are offering some summer internship programs, like nearly for 2 months or something.
या
So if we are joining in a lab for the internship, we will be able to know the experiments that are taking place, or what are the problems, or what are the ideas that can be applied to make that field a better stage. So I'm working in a molecular electronics and energy lab. So here we are starting with the organic synthesis, and then we will do the device fabrication. So if when I came here, the first fundamental thing I was doing is organic synthesis, and then I went forward for device fabrication. So if we are looking out from a lab, we may not be able to understand what is taking place over there. So, but once we join the lab, we will be able to know how it works.
या
Even if we are trying to read some scientific journals, they will be just discussing about the synthesis method and all. But to have a theoretical, rather than theoretical knowledge, to have an experimental knowledge, I think it's better to do some internships. So we can then decide whether we should choose this topic, whether we are able to move forward with this one, and thus we could have a greater opportunity to explore the higher areas. We could have some collaborative works once we have done the internship. We could join the same lab for our further studies, and we could try for some collaborative works. So it will be more helpful in our career.
या सो
So
इंटर्नशिप
I
इज
would highly recommend others to do internships, so that you will be familiar with so many labs, so many friends. You will get so many friends, and rather than that, we can get instrumental knowledge, experimental knowledge, or if we are joining the theoretical lab also, we could know about the methods that they are using. So it will be very helpful.
इट्स वेरी हेल्पफुल। इंटर्नशिप करनी ही चाहिए, वो कंफ्यूजन दूर कर देगी आपका कि यू विल डू पीएचडी और नॉट। ठीक है, इट्स वेरी डेफिनेटली कंट्रीब्यूट दैट। सो माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज कि पीएचडी में सबसे बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूशन इज प्रोफेसर। ठीक है, कि अगर एक गुड प्रोफेसर है तो मतलब आपकी पीएचडी जर्नी थोड़ी इजी रहती है, और एक थोड़ा सा मतलब तो मेरा क्वेश्चन इससे रिलेटेड यही है कि हाउ टू चूज अ प्रोफेसर। ठीक है, सो इज योर एक्सपीरियंस टेल मी अबाउट समथिंग दैट कि हाउ टू चूज अ प्रोफेसर।
Okay. So as he has already said that a professor is very decisive factor in our PhD life, because for 3 to 5 years we
या
will be working that with that professor.
या
So the thing is, while choosing a professor, the first thing is we have to see his profile and see whether our research interest matches with the work that he have done, so that the papers published in various journals with citations, and how many papers that are published in here, so that we could get a correct knowledge about the work, how the work is progressing inside that lab. And once we are okay with the topic, the papers published and all, then the next thing is we may try to know about that professor from other social medias or something, so that we could know how he is interacting with the society. And then the next step will be we must try to communicate with him and to see whether our communication, our interaction is taking place properly or not, and how he is confident with us. That also matters, because while we are joining for a PhD, our PI must be confident that we must be able to do that work. So we must have a good interaction with our PI. And if it's okay, and if every factors are okay, then you can ask for him to join the lab and then do the work. So it will be very helpful throughout your journey.
ओके ओके सो फर्स्टली उसके मतलब सर के बारे में, प्रोफेसर के बारे में जिनके अंडर आप पीएचडी करने जा रहे हो, तो उनके बारे में आप थोड़ी नॉलेज ले लीजिए पहले ही, ठीक है, क्योंकि बहुत इफेक्ट पड़ता है ड्यूरिंग पीएचडी, और प्रोफेसर का एक बहुत बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूशन होता है आपकी पीएचडी में. सो फर्स्टली रिसर्च अबाउट दैट आल्सो. सो नेक्स्ट माय क्वेश्चन इज कि हाउ टू अप्रोच प्रोफेसर, मतलब लाइक जैसे हमको पता चल गया कि हमको प्रोफेसर ठीक है इनके अंडर में करना है, तो हाउ टू अप्रोच दैट, कैसे अप्रोच करनी चाहिए प्रोफेसर के लिए फॉर कन्वर्सेशन.
Okay, so we can look for the topics, and then once we have finalized or thought that this professor will be good, then the first thing that you can do is check the institution in which he is working, so that you could see, you could get his email. So the first thing that you can do is to write an email with him, so that by conveying the message that you are interested with that topic, and the paper that you have done or the work that you have done seems to be very interesting, so that so it will be very good for my career to do that with you and to have a better opportunity. Once if he is interested, he will be definitely sending back the feedback. And once we get that feedback, then we can somehow decide whether he's interested with us, so that he may give us the further procedures to join there. That's how I think that is the first step that they can do. And most of the times it's very difficult to get their contact number. So if they are interested, they would definitely give us his details or the things that can be done, so that further communication will be done. So I think writing a mail showing your interest will be a better option in that case.
So
CV, it's better to put your CV along with them.
Or something SOP, right? Something SOP we will write.
SOP, statement of purpose, CV, all those matters, while they will be thoroughly checking us, our profile, and that's how they can decide. Just by seeing a mail, they cannot understand whether you are eligible for that. So it's better to have a very good CV showing your educational qualification, the additional qualifications, projects, skills that you have. So that can make you more impressive. That's how we can make ourselves more impressive to others. So the SOP will also be very helpful. And that's it.
So my next question related to CSIR NET एग्जाम, ठीक है. सो जैसलिन ने अभी 2023 में ही AIR 50 रैंक अचीव की है. सो हाउ इज योर एक्सपीरियंस अबाउट CSIR NET एग्जाम? फर्स्टली तो कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन, मैनी मैनी कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन, ठीक है. सो हाउ इज योर एक्सपीरियंस अबाउट CSIR NET एग्जाम?
Okay, so thank you so much. This was my third attempt, I would say. This was not my first attempt in CSIR NET. So I would like to share my journey rather than saying the experience that I have right now. So I did my MSc from 2020 to 2022, which was at the peak time of Corona, and I was not able to attend my classes properly. So that I was not much aware of the topics, even though I had little bit knowledge from my bachelor's. Still, I was not much good in those topics. So it was not that much good. I was in the border of 80 marks while I appeared for my first exam. The second one was also something similar. I couldn't do it properly because of some health issues. So then later on, I did my MSc thesis here and worked as project associate before joining for PhD. So it was while working only I prepared myself for the CSIR exam. So others might have think that if we are working in the lab from morning till sometimes even till midnight, we have to work.
Yeah.
If we are doing some column, it's better to complete that column within one day. So
Yeah.
what we used to do is we used to stay from morning till night. So you may think that okay, we are doing the experiments, we are doing the column, so I can't prepare myself. But the thing is, if you are giving your 100% in the lab, and once you are going back, so you will be having an inner feeling that okay, I haven't studied, I haven't used my time properly. So that while going back, you will definitely work. Like I used to do that after coming from the lab. I used to assign at least 2-3 hours for CSIR preparation. So I used to read some books, and we have lots of YouTube channels. Even Madhur has posted some videos in his YouTube channel. So there are so many channels which are available for your preparation. And then the other thing that might help you for CSIR preparation is peer group discussion. So I used to have a discussion with some of my friends. So what we used to do is we will be selecting a topic and we will be doing solving out the previous year questions. So definitely we will be having some weak areas. So that weak areas will be the strong areas of our friends. So what we were doing is we were discussing all those tips. Okay, that is one thing. The other thing is I can solve a problem in one way, and one of my friends can do it in another way. So if we are discussing it together, we could get two approaches to answer a question. So that will be very helpful. So the thing is we have to allot at least minimum 2-3 hours a day so that we can boost our brain. So it's not a matter of very tough questions. The thing is the way they approach to a question and the timing. So even if you are working in the lab, the other thing you may do is in between the experiments you will be having lots of time. Then also you can just work out a problem. So thus we can give our 100% over there, and by that itself we would be able to qualify. That's what my life has taught me. Because even in the middle of my classes, I used to talk or roam around with the friends. Everything is there, but the thing is we have to allot some time for this as well. This must be our priority. Then if we are working hard, if we have perseverance, confidence, then nothing will be impossible. That's what my life has taught me. That's the only thing I wanted to share with you also.
या इट्स वेरी ग्रेट योर एक्सपीरियंस आपने सबको बताया, ठीक है, कि पीएचडी के साथ सीएसआईआर नेट की प्रिपरेशन करना थोड़ा थोड़ा नहीं बहुत मुश्किल है, ठीक है, क्योंकि टाइम नहीं मिलता है फॉर एक्सपेरिमेंटल चीजें बहुत रहती हैं, लैब्स में टाइम नहीं मिल पाता है। देन फिर भी जैसलीन ने टाइम निकाला, वही जो जैसलीन बोल रही है कि अगर आप 100% देते हो आप किसी चीज को अपना, तो वो चीज मिल ही जाती है। और 2-3 चीजें जैसे जैसलीन ने बताई कि कन्वर्सेशन इनके लिए बहुत हेल्पफुल रहा फ्रॉम फ्रेंड्स के साथ, ठीक है। तो 2-3 पॉइंट्स आप बताना चाहेंगे फॉर सीएसआईआर नेट कि आपने जैसे प्रिपरेशन में क्या कमी छोड़ी फॉर फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट, सेकंड अटेम्प्ट, जो आपने थर्ड अटेम्प्ट में कंप्लीट की। सो 2-3 पॉइंट्स जो कि स्टूडेंट्स को ध्यान रखने चाहिए अबाउट सीएसआईआर नेट एग्जाम थ्रू योर एक्सपीरियंस, मतलब आपके एक्सपीरियंस से, ठीक है।
Okay, so the thing was that while completing my MSc, I had a specialization in polymer chemistry. So I have learned lots of things with polymer chemistry, and I had lagged some of the main topics, core topics here. So even though I tried with some books, I was not able to do it within that time. Like while doing MSc, polymer was there, and the other topics as well. I had an equivalent course, but some of the topics were missing. So I wanted to do it in a better way, so that I started to read some books, see some YouTube channels, and made the gaps. I filled the gaps in between by those things. It's not mandatory that you must read a book. There are lots of information. The Google is there, the YouTube is there. So if we are not good in a particular topic, we can fill that gap from these resources. So now the thing is, the resources are plenty and we have to use it properly. Then the other thing is the way in which I was studying. My approach of study is not in the way of CSIR examination. So then only when I realized this, I started to do the previous year
ये
question
क्वेश्चन
papers. I used to solve it within 3 hours. So I was able to balance the timing as well as the mode of questions. If we are observing the question paper continuously, can find out that there are some core areas from which most of the questions will be asked. So then I shifted to that way. And the thing was that I was not much thorough with all the three topics, that is physical, organic, and inorganic. So what I did was that I selected that core topics which are frequently asked for 8 to 10 marks in all these papers. I thoroughly worked with those topics and made that strong. So these topics, even for this exam, it was repeated. Maybe the mode of questions or the concept is just the same, and the questions pattern will be changing, so that it's advisable to look into the previous year questions and focus on the main areas from which the questions are coming, and later on you could work for the easier topics as well. So everybody will be thorough with some of the topics, so that can be your strong areas, let it be there, and include the other areas which are not thorough but coming for the CSIR exam. So make it also a strong area so that you will be able to score it in a better way. And if needed, you can go for a coaching as well, so that somebody will be there to guide you on how to approach that question, how to do that question, what all topics must you choose. So if an external supervisor is there, like if some coaching or some guide is there, we will be able to do it in an easier way rather than ourselves doing all alone.
एग्जैक्टली तो फर्स्टली तो जैसलिन मैं यही बताना चाहूंगा कि सबसे पहले जो हम बताते हैं, मतलब मैं जो पर्सनली बताता हूँ वो यही बताता हूँ कि सबसे पहले प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस लगा लो, ठीक है। क्योंकि चीजें बहुत है, CSIR नेट इज नॉट कि आप 100% सिलेबस कर ही नहीं सकते, राइट। तो फर्स्टली तो यही रहता है कि प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस जैसे जैसलिन ने अपने एक्सपीरियंस से सीखा, ठीक है, खुद के एक्सपीरियंस से सीखा कि हाँ मेरे को किन एरियाज पे फोकस करना चाहिए, ठीक है। तो ये चीजें तो बिल्कुल सही बोल रही है, और आज इनके एक्सपीरियंस से आप सीख भी सकते हो कि प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस लगाना इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, कि आपको पेपर का एनालिसिस हो जाता है पूरा, ठीक है। उसके बेसिस पे आप, और ऐसा भी नहीं है कि उनसे जैसे फिजिकल इनऑर्गेनिक और ऑर्गेनिक हो गई तो आप 2 सब्जेक्ट को करके पेपर निकाल लोगे, ठीक है। जैसे जैसलिन ने बोला कि स्पेसिफिक टॉपिक जो बार बार फ्रिक्वेंटली पूछ रहे हैं, ठीक है, तो चाहे वो ऑर्गेनिक का हो, चाहे इनऑर्गेनिक का हो, चाहे फिजिकल का हो, इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू फॉर क्लियरिंग एग्जाम, फॉर गेट अचीव अ गुड रैंक। तो इट्स वेरी ग्रेट एक्सपीरियंस फॉर योर CSIR नेट एग्जाम, ठीक है। सो नेक्स्ट माय क्वेश्चन इज कि जैसलिन ने बार का एग्जाम भी दिया है और वो भी क्वालिफाई है। सो टेल मी अबाउट समथिंग अबाउट बार्क एग्जाम.
Actually, I was applying for BARC OCES, Scientific Officer post. So for that, you could appear for the interview through three channels.
Yeah.
One is the BARC online exam, the
Yeah.
other one through the GATE score. And if you are studying in CBS or NICER, if you are having a CGPA greater than 8, you can appear for the interview. So I was called for the interview through my BARC examination score. So the BARC examination is like you will have a very simple questions, not very simple. If we are okay with the topics like physical chemistry, organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, little bit of analytical chemistry and mathematics, then it will be very easy for you to crack these questions. What I felt is that the questions are of +2 standard. Like if you are strong with your basics, +1, +2 is a fundamental part. I used to solve some questions which were asked in previous year entrance examinations for joining for NEET, IIT, JEE. There will be lots of questions available. So what I used to do is I just solve those questions within a stipulated period of time. So by doing that, what happens is our speed will be increasing. Yeah. And we will be able to eliminate those options which won't be probable. So like we could eliminate two options by that, and once we are okay with the topic, we will be able to get the correct answer. Yeah. So the thing is, the BARC exam was for 300 marks and the cutoff was nearly 127. So from this it is, we can understand that you must have a knowledge in these topics, but deep knowledge is not required. Yeah. Just the fundamentals will help you, and you have to answer 100 questions within 120 minutes. So here the speed matters. Once you know the thing, it's the speed of your calculation. So I asked all you to do is to solve the questions. Let it be IIT JAM previous year question paper, or GATE previous year question paper, NET question paper, or even the +2 level entrance examinations question paper will help you for that. So the level does not matter. You have to work thoroughly with the problems, get familiarized on the methods to which you have to solve that question. So this preparation will help you for any competitive examination. So I have already qualified GATE as well. So even for GATE, BARC, CSIR, like if you are okay with the chemistry topics, if you are okay with the fundamentals, then if you have a little bit practice, you will be able to crack all of these exams. So that's what I felt from my own experience.
ओके, दैट्स अ वेरी ग्रेट एक्सपीरियंस. ठीक है कि जैसली ने जैसे अपने एक्सपीरियंस से सब बता रहे हैं कि बार का एग्जाम में क्या इम्पोर्टेंट है. ठीक है, तो जैसलिन एक्चुअली ये मीटिंग एंड होने वाली है, सो कैन वी ज्वाइन अगेन?
Differently.
सो हाँ, हम वापस मिलते हैं गाइस. ठीक है, कुछ और एक्सपीरियंस है जैसलिन के पास जो